22 past with the breaking news right now that U.S. airman rescued in Iran is reportedly in Kuwait and being treated for his injuries. President Trump said the brave airman is seriously wounded but will be just fine after that risky nighttime operation. Joining me now is Virginia Congressman Suhas Subramaniam, member of the Ethics Committee and ranking member of the Oversight Subcommittee on Foreign Affairs. Congressman, welcome. First question to you, sir. Were you or other members of Congress briefed at any point during or after the rescue? And the president now saying that the U.S. is deep in negotiations with Iran and a deal could happen by Tuesday. What does Congress know, and do you believe it?
We haven't been briefed at all. We've been on recess. We've been wanting to come back from our recess to be able to end the shutdown for Department of Homeland Security. But in the end, we have not been kept apprised of any negotiations. What I will say is he's said many times that this war would end and that the end would be right around the corner. Yet that has not happened at any point. So it's hard to really take seriously what this president actually says.
But what about, sir, this morning? In that expletive-laden post, the president doubled down on his threat to launch a major attack on Tuesday if Iran does not make a deal or reopen the Strait of Hormuz. So, Congressman, what's your reaction not only to his threats and language deeply unbecoming of a president of the United States, but this Tuesday timeline he's laying out?
Well, he set timelines before and then backed away from them. I will say this. This president from the very beginning has completely misunderstood this Iranian regime and Iranian culture generally. And that is very important. You're supposed to know your enemy before you get into a war. And he has not shown any sort of understanding of them. Making these threats doesn't really deter them in any sort of way. In fact, it emboldens them to continue to block the Strait of Hormuz. And even if he went through and he bombed all of the critical infrastructure in Iran, the Iranian regime does not care about its people. They just care about staying in power. And they would actually get some sympathy through this by him making life so much worse for the Iranian people and bombing infrastructure. So it just shows a real lack of understanding of how to approach this war from the very beginning.
Let's look stateside because Thursday, Trump fired Attorney General Pam Bondi, in fact, a couple weeks before her scheduled deposition on the Epstein files. And your colleagues, you all still want her to appear. Let's take a listen to Ro Khanna.
I mean, if we could chase Hillary Clinton, who hasn't been in office for 20 years, certainly we can get Pam Bondi to explain why she covered up documents, why we haven't had prosecutions.
What do you make of what Ro Khanna said there? Is he right? So do you expect her to show? And what would you want to ask her?
Yeah, he's exactly right. When he says chase, he means they actually tried to hold Hillary Clinton in criminal contempt of Congress and have her put behind bars because she didn't show up. And then she ended up showing up and she had nothing really to share. Pam Bondi, from the very beginning, has been breaking the law. And so even if she's not Attorney General anymore, she still broke the law and she's still continuing to not tell us anything about these files or show up. So if she does not show up, we should be holding her in criminal contempt like we would the Clintons or anyone else. And even the chairman, James Comer, had said that he would be open to doing that during our closed door hearing with Pam Bondi.
But Congressman, her last appearance before the committee, she was hugely combative. Do you expect now that she's out of office as AG that may change?
I want to find out. She was before the Judiciary Committee. I'm on the Oversight Committee. She tried to do a closed door hearing with us. And that closed door hearing, it was 3 minutes per member. And it was a total sham. She wasn't under oath. We couldn't ask her questions without knowing whether we were getting the right answer. So I want her deposed so that it wouldn't be a theater like it was under the Judiciary Committee. I want her under oath so she can't lie to us without penalties. And I want her to tell us over 6 hours or whatever, however long it takes, exactly what happened and why she hasn't released the rest of the files. Because I have a feeling it's because of the president and the president's orders. And she's trying to basically cover up for the president and his friends.
So Bondi's firing doesn't do anything to try to still obtain further Epstein files. How difficult might that be at this point with her firing, but you have now Todd Blanche as the interim attorney general? It was speculated on this broadcast earlier that he may run through the midterms because he has said the Epstein files should not be a part of anything going forward.
Yeah, Todd Blanche, remember, before getting into office, was the president's personal attorney, and he's the one who sat with Ghislaine Maxwell for 6 hours, and then suddenly she got transferred to a minimum security prison in Texas. So Todd Blanche knows his marching orders and he knows how to deliver, which is why I think the president likes him. But he would never, I'd be surprised if he got confirmed by the Senate. I'm disappointed. But I will say that Todd Blanche now has been in charge of this from the beginning and has been continuing to obstruct and break the law as well. And so we have questions for him as well.
All right, Congressman Suhas Subramaniam, thank you so much, sir, for your time on this holiday. Appreciate you.